Hey, welcome back everybody. So tonight we are going to do a sockeye salmon on the Traeger. So accompanied with that, we are going to do lemongrass basmati rice and whipped sweet potatoes. So it should be a pretty easy, fast meal tonight. I'm just excited to get this fish on the Traeger. It's still pretty early in the year, but I want to start barbecuing some things here. So let's get going. I'm gonna put the sockeye salmon to the side for now. And I wanna start with what takes the longest. So it's gonna be the basmati rice and the sweet potatoes. They'll probably equally take about the same amount of time. So I'm just gonna prepare the two of them, and then we'll get these on the stove, and then we'll start working with the fish. So we have 2 cups of basmati rice here. We're gonna take it over and we're gonna rinse it a few times, and then we'll measure the liquid. All right, let's rinse the 2 cups of basmati rice. Keep adding cold water to it, aggravating it till it starts to run a little more clear. This will help the cooking process as well, speed up a little bit. All right, as you can see, the water runs clear now after aggravating the rice. So let's go ahead and add our water. And I always just do the first knuckle rule, or a little bit more. So I'll push my finger in until the tip hits the rice, and then the water kind of comes right up to that first knuckle. And since it's not a rice cooker, it will need a little bit more water just because it will be on the stove. But something like this is going to be perfect for 2 cups of rice. Just about that much water sitting on top there. Okay, so we have the basmati rice here. I'm gonna add the lemongrass to it. And so I'm gonna take a little bit off the tip here, and then I like to turn the knife over to the dull side and go ahead and give the lemongrass a crunch here, break through it. And then I'm gonna just cut it in half. I'm trying to keep it all intact, but we're just beating the inside basically, so that aroma starts coming out like that. So that's perfect. We're just gonna take these 2 pieces here. We're gonna add them in. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of butter right now as well. Maybe just about 1 tablespoon, like so. And then I'm gonna get this onto the stove with a lid, bring it up to a simmer. Should take about 20, maybe 25 minutes. All right, so we have the rice going on the stove. Now, next we want to work with the sweet potatoes. Get these on. Okay, now that we got the sweet potatoes peeled, gonna take the ends off, trim off any of the skins that I missed with the peeler. Looks pretty good. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and just cut these bigger ones in half. Just kind of want same size chunks. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and add them to the pot. And we're gonna cover this with cold water and bring it up to a simmer and let these cook all the way through. Again, probably 15 to 20 minutes. This will be size dependent. So if you cut them into really big chunks, it'll take longer. Smaller cubes, less time, 5-10 minutes. So go ahead and get this covered up and put it on the stove as well. All right, so we got the sweet potatoes on and the rice is covered now. They're on a simmer. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the Traeger on, get that up and running for the salmon, and then we'll come in and we'll start working on our garnishes, and then we'll cut the salmon, and then the Traeger should be ready and warm by then. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on to smoke for about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna turn it over to about 375 degrees. Normally I'd probably do about 350, but today is rather cold, so I know I'm gonna battle a little bit of the temperature out here. So I'm gonna go up to 375, knowing that it'll probably be running around 350. So the Traeger's been on for about a minute, and it's smoking. We'll let this go for another 4 minutes, and then I'll turn it over to 375. So now we're going to work on the garnishes, get these chopped up, and then we'll move into portioning out the salmon. All right, so we have the scallions for the lemongrass Basmati rice garnish. We'll use those nice green tops for the actual rice, and then we'll use these here on the salmon while they're in the Traeger grilling. And then next we'll do the parsley for the salmon. Mince it as fine as you can, or as fine as you want. It's up to you. I like it to be fairly fine. But you also don't want to beat it to death until it turns brown and starts getting all wet. So I'm gonna say that's pretty good for me there. That'll be for the sockeye salmon garnish. Just like to get all that out of the way before I start throwing fish around. All right, it's been about 5 or 6 minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and turn it up to 375. So we got the Traeger up to 375 now. And I can smell the lemongrass from the rice, which smells amazing. Clean some of this up. And the sweet potatoes are simmering. So let's bring the salmon over and start portioning that. I'm gonna put this wet towel down to hold this plastic cutting board. Plastic on wood would just slide around as I'm trying to cut the fish. This will keep the board fairly secure down to the butcher's block. So this is about a pound and a half of sockeye salmon. So I'm gonna get 3 fillets out of it. I'm gonna shoot for 8 ounce portions. So 2 for tonight, and then I'll probably do the tail piece for tomorrow for lunch or something. So I'm just gonna take a look at it and clean it up if need be. Take anything off that I don't really want. But it's fairly clean here. And the bones are out, and I've had it out of the fridge for about an hour now. I want it to come to room temperature. I like the majority of, if not all of my proteins at room temperature, or fair, close enough when I cook them so they don't seize up and contract. So, all right, so let's look for a couple portions here. I'm gonna say that's gonna be about 1 there and 1 there. Yeah, so we'll just give it a nice cut. And there. So yeah, that fills about 8 and 6 or 7 or so. So that's perfect. I'm gonna leave the skin on. It still has the scales on it, so I'm not gonna eat the skin, but I'm just gonna give it that little protective barrier while it's on the Traeger. All right, so I'm gonna keep the salmon here pretty simple. I'm just going to stow away the portion that I don't want for tonight. I'll save this for tomorrow. Get this in the fridge. And for the 2 pieces that I want tonight, get this out of the way. All right, for the 2 pieces for tonight, I'm just gonna rub down with some oil. Get a little salt in the back. Oil, flesh. Like so. That way it doesn't stick. Go ahead and salt it nicely. I'm gonna give it some pepper here. Just a few cracks. And then I'm just gonna give it a little bit of lemon zest. I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. Awesome. Just like so. So the grill's around 362, so a few more minutes on that before it comes up to temperature. Then we'll get these going. These will probably only take, I don't know, maybe 10 or so minutes. And so I think we're looking pretty good on timing. The rice is coming to an end where we can turn it off and let it just rest. And the sweet potatoes are still simmering. And then we'll go ahead and we'll get the salmon on, and then we'll drain the sweet potatoes and add a little butter and seasoning and start whipping those together. And then everything should come together perfectly at the end. So the rice just finished and the sweet potatoes are pretty close. The grill I think is close enough, so we're gonna go ahead and take these outside and get them on there and start smoking them. Temperature dropped a little bit by opening the lid, but we'll come back and check on these in about 10 minutes. All right, so the salmon is on. I set a timer for 10 minutes. So here we've got the rice, the basmati rice, the lemongrass. I'll go ahead and pull the lemongrass out. It is warm, so be careful. Go ahead and get to mixing. Quite a bit of rice, but a little bit left over for tomorrow, or a lot. That's perfect. Just a little bit on the bottom. Nothing's burnt though. I don't really want to mush it though, so we're just gonna leave it like that. Put the pan over there. I'm gonna toss a little more butter in here and kind of do little slivers. All right, a little butter rice, a little bit of kosher salt, and just mix this in. Just kind of folding it gently, folding that butter. Now you can kind of smell the butter melting in there, lemongrass, butter, and go ahead and give this a taste. A little more salt. Wow. All right, I'm gonna keep this covered until we're ready to plate. Keep that over there. We're gonna start on the sweet potatoes. Get those drained. Take a look here and see how the knife just kind of goes right through it. These are cooked. Get the water off those. Go ahead and just mix them in the KitchenAid. And I'm gonna use the whisk attachment. I could just do it by hand, but I do want it to be fairly smooth. So I'm gonna add maybe about a tablespoon of butter in there. We'll start whisking it. And I'm gonna add, what is this, about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. So go ahead and scrape it down. I'm just gonna add a teaspoon more butter and a little bit of salt. Let's get this mixed up again. All right, see how it tastes. Perfect. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. Oh yeah, that looks perfect. All right, let's take these inside and start plating up. Oh my gosh. Smells incredible. Looks perfect. All right. Let's get to plating. So, let's start with the rice here. Get a nice scoop of this. Scoop of the sweet potato. Like so. Grab these salmon. That's awesome. Let's look at the skin. Crispy. Perfect. My gosh, it smells so good. All right. Cut a little bit of this lemon. Add a little bit on. I'll just set it here. We got the scallions for the lemongrass basmati rice. And we got that nice parsley here for that salmon. And the sweet potato. My goodness. Well, there we have it. We've got the sockeye salmon with lemongrass, basmati rice, and the brown sugar sweet potatoes. And this honestly only took about 40 minutes, and that's with lugging the camera around with me as well. And I did the majority of the dishes in between when I had some free time, so not bad at all. Pretty quick meal, pretty simple. It smells incredible. I'm excited to dig in. Let's see here. I think I've got a bottle of 2020 Rosé that I think will go perfect with it. So I think I'll pour myself a glass of this and dig in and see how it goes. check out the salmon. Oh, that's perfect. That is very good. And that rosé is perfect with it. Great pairing.